There are tons of free agents this offseason. Some are really good. Some are pretty average. And some of them, not so much. So in this video, we'll be ranking all of the top free agents. I'm talking quarterbacks, running backs, wide receivers, and tight ends to find out who's the best and who's the worst. So grab a snack, hit the like button, and subscribe to the channel because we're getting started. And let's start off with the free agent quarterback, shall we? We have all of these fine gentlemen down below. Now, these are not the only free agent quarterbacks. There's more, but these are my top 10 specifically. And specifically, I think Geno Smith is going to start us off in the bruh tier. Because after this past tier with the Raiders, holy hell, brother, what was that? Speaking of rough, let's add Kirk Cousins to the bruh tier. Now, I definitely think Kirk Cousins is slightly better than Geno Smith, but like we're talking marginal. We're talking decimals here, people. Up next, we got Justin Fields kicking off the man tier because, bro, his legs are nasty, bro. Those things need to be studied in a lab. But you take away the legs and you make him throw the ball, it's a little bit of a different story. But what if he's one of those quarterbacks that all he needs is the right coach? I'm talking a Kevin O'Connell, a quarterback whisperer. Who knows? Maybe that's wishful thinking, but even with the downsides and the horrific floor that Justin Fields brings, I think the upside in the legs brings it to a man tier for me. Someone who was really mad this past year, but still I think deserves a little respect, Big Russ Wilson. Russell Wilson's tough because this past year with the Giants, we saw that one Linsanity game against the Cowboys. Like, yeah, obviously it was the Cowboys defense. Anyone's going to look like prime Shaquille O'Neal against them. But I still think there's a little bit of juice left in that lemon, okay? Call me a crazy, call me a wishful thinker, but I think, Russ, you could do worse, but good God, you could do a whole lot better. Next up, we have Mr. Turnabout himself, Tua Tagovailoa. Now, part of me does want to put Tua in the solid tier, and I really would if this was like maybe last year, but seeing his turnovers, like horrific turnovers this year, and him straight up getting benched for Quinn Ewers, seeing him out of the McDaniel offense, I don't think it's going to get better than what it was previously, and previously it was horrific. So the med tier that's about it for me. This next one might be a shock, but come on in, Marcus Mariota kicking off the solid tier. Now, similar to these other quarterbacks, Marcus Mariota is definitely like a floor play. He's a safe play. But seeing him play this year, bro, I kind of think he has a little bit more upside than we think, because he was showing off the full game, right? He was using the legs when he needed to. He was protecting the ball, not a whole lot of turnovers. Like, he actually played pretty well against some tough competition. So, like, he gives like Jacoby Brissett a very solid, good quarterback vibes. Next up, we got Unk himself, Mr. Aaron 42-year-old Rodgers. Now, similar with Mariota, like, I feel like Aaron Rodgers, like, yes, he's not going to take you to a Super Bowl, but like, I think in this whole entire free agent quarterback class, Aaron Rodgers is still like the best thrower of the football. I truly believe that. And if you think about the weapons that he had to use this season, Calvin Austin, DK Metcalf, Pat Freiermuth, I mean, he really had no help, bro. He had no help, and he still willed the Steelers to the playoffs. Now, here is where it gets fun. Kicking off the spicy tier, we have Mr. Indiana Jones, Daniel Jones. Now, I'm not going to come up here and say that Daniel Jones is Josh Allen, right? That's complete blasphemy. I'm not gonna say that, but I'm just saying Daniel Jones in the right system, hold on to your pants. Because like, yeah, he wasn't like torching up the league, lighting the league on fire when he was healthy, but like you saw with the right receivers and like playmakers, Jonathan Taylor, Alec Pierce, Michael Pittman, Tyler Warren, and a good coach, I mean, he looked pretty nasty out there, bro. So I don't know what Daniel Jones post Achilles looks like. I don't think he'll be that much worse. Maybe a little less juice, maybe a little less legs and running the ball himself, but I think you could do a lot worse. And Daniel Jones as a free agent, if I need a quarterback, he's one of my top targets. But my top two targets, specifically number two, starting us off in the goated tier. This is a bold one. This might get me in trouble. This one might get me spanked. I'm going Malik Willis, baby. Now, is this ranking very recency biased? Yes. Is this ranking very small sample sized base? Also, yes. But do I give a darn? Hell no, brother. Because Malik Willis, man, I'm telling you, bro, I think he started, what, like maybe 3 games? Especially the Ravens game. That Ravens game was electric, bro. Using the wheels, using the legs, decent enough with the passing game to like be a legitimately like well-rounded quarterback, bro. I was like simply like, am I watching? Wait, hold on. Is that Lamar Jackson in a Packers uniform? Like, yes, I know it's very small sample base. I know he's still very raw. The turnovers and the downside is there, but like, bro, if I'm a team and I'm in quarterback hell, and I want to take an absolute swing for left field, I'm calling up Malik Willis, bro. And I think a lot of teams will. I think a lot of teams saw that game against the Ravens, and specifically the previous games that Jordan Love missed, and like they're like, hold on, this kid's got something, bro. I mean, do you want like a 40-year-old Aaron Rodgers or like a Geno Smith type beat where it's like, okay, bro, this is like, we're trading for this guy to not get fired, or do we possibly get fired but possibly win the Super Bowl with Malik Willis? And we'll throw Kyler Murray in goated, even though it feels gross, because he's probably playing Call of Duty. All right, moving on to the free agent running backs. And if you'll take a look at the free agents here, good God, brother, sweet mother, brother, this is a stacked ass class. Bars? I mean, Javonte, Rico, we got Brees, K9. This is juicy, man. But kicking off the free agents, we got to go with number 10 in the Brud tier. I'm going to go J.K. Dobbins. Now, I feel conflicted about this ranking because J.K. Dobbins was literally the lead back. He was still so good enough that he was holding off R.J. Harvey until he got hurt. But that's the sad thing about J.K. Dobbins. He always gets hurt. So J.K. Dobbins, another year older, coming off another brutal injury. I don't know what it looks like. If I'm a team, obviously a 1-year minimum deal most likely, but yeah, not a whole lot of upside with J.K. Dobbins, but you know, I think he still got that slight little path for potential. Someone who has a little bit more potential, but not much, is Rachaad White in the meh tier. Now, Rachaad White... Dude, his nickname is literally Mr. Inefficient because if you look at his running stats, I mean, wow, bro, you might want to, you know, put some, can we get some air freshener in here? His strong suit is the pass catching game, and he can really do both of that. He can run the ball decent enough, barely decent enough. He's not going to blow you away. He's not ripping off any, you know, 80-yard house calls, but Rachaad White for a free agent, it's very vanilla, but you could do worse. Joining him in the man tier, we have Brian B-Rob Many-Men Robinson. Now, this feels a little harsh for Brian Robinson. I do want to put him in the solid tier, but we just saw him in such a limited role this year with the Niners. I mean, anyone that's going to be behind the GOAT, Christian McCaffrey, yeah, obviously, you're not going to get a lot of touches, but even when we saw him in a lead, you know, like in a lead back role with the Commanders, he was good, don't get me wrong, but like kind of limited. He doesn't really catch a whole lot of passes. He's a solid in between the tackles kind of guy, but like, I don't know, man. There's not like a whole lot of upside with him. I think he's solid, don't get me wrong, but the lack of upside is what makes me want to throw him to the meh tier. But breaking us into the solid tier, we have Kenny G. Gainwell. Bro, Kenneth Gainwell is low-key hashtag like that, okay? Like, I'm not gonna say he's no, you know, he's no Brees Hall, he's no Bijan, he's no Gibbs, but like Kenny Gainwell in space, Kenny Gainwell with the ball in his hands, kind of a fun time. Because even though he was like splitting time with Jaylen Warren this season, I was gonna say and Caleb Johnson, but that's funny. Even though he was splitting time with Jaylen Warren with the Steelers this year, every time he got the ball, man, like he low-key made the most of his opportunities. He's really good with the pass catching, he's slippery, he's got good moves. Like, I think you could do a lot worse than Kenny Gainwell. Speaking of solid, let's go into the spicy tier with Mr. Rico Suave himself, Rico Dowdle. Bro, Rico Dowdle's Linsanity run this year was crazy, especially in that little like 2-week stretch. He literally played the 2 worst rushing defenses, and Rico lit them on fire, bro. I'm talking 100 plus yards in both games, multiple rushing touchdowns. I mean, he can catch the ball too. He's very well-rounded. I think Rico Dowdle going to a team that actually uses him as a lead back, I think they're getting a great value, and I think that's definitely a spicy pick. Speaking of spice, let's go with our next boy. We got Tyler Algier. Bro, what does Tyler Algier look like in a lead back role on a team with no Bijan Robinson? I don't know what to say, but it could be fun. Because even when splitting time and living in Bijan's shadow, like Tyler Algier always made the most of his opportunities. Super physical, in between the tackles kind of runner. He's not gonna catch the ball like Bijan really, but like Tyler Algier can do everything in his ball security. I saw a stat that's like, I don't know if it was only in the red zone, but like basically Tyler Algier never fumbles. He's super secure with the ball. You can trust the guy with your life. And I would honestly, if I'm a team and I need a running back, Tyler Algier is a very top of the tier, very top of the list kind of target. And opening the doors of the goated tier, we have Mr. Javonte Williams. Bro, Javonte Williams on the Cowboys this year was so much fun. He was like so electric, man. Breaking tackles every other play. Super hard to take down. Just a physical, hard-ass runner, dude. And joining Mr. Javonte, we have Travis Etienne. Sweet mother, brother. He was on fire fire, bro. In the rushing game, in the passing game. He can literally do it all, man. Travis Etienne is so well-rounded, especially in a great offense like Liam Coleman offense. So Travis Etienne, he's going to demand a bag this year. So wherever he goes, I don't know, but he's going to be spicy and special. I can guarantee you that. Another goated free agent, we got Breece Hall, baby. Breece Hall is literally like the full package back, man. He's a literal, he's like a very CMC-ish kind of back, where great in the passing game. I mean, he can be a literal wide receiver. Also great with running the ball, house calls at will, super slippery. I mean, he's everything you want, man. He's just been underutilized, and he's been on the Jets. So enough said. So whatever team is going to huff up the bag and pay Breece Hall however much he wants, I think you should, because he's that talented and that special of a player. And topping off our goated tier list with the free agent running backs, we have Kenneth Kenbone Walker. Zach Charbonnet getting hurt might be the best thing for Kenneth Walker's career and bank account, because we saw with no Zach Charbonnet and Kenneth Walker in the lead back role, oh boy, fasten your seatbelt, brother. This guy's gonna blow your nipples off. I mean, in the Rams game alone, my sweet, poor little Rams. Oh my God, bro, making guys tackle. Oh, just kidding. Oh, making guys tackle. Oh, just kidding again. Bro, the guy was breaking ankles at will. Super slippery, impossible to take down. And also a great receiving back. I mean, what else do you want? He's got home run hitting speed. He can take it to the crib at will. Kenneth Walker is the full package. I don't know if the Seahawks will re-sign him. He's gonna be expensive. All these guys in the goated tier are gonna be expensive, but if you want a solid upside home run hitting running back, Kenneth Walker is your guy. All right, moving on to our free agent wide receivers. And similar to the running backs, bro, this free agent class is fun as hell, dude. George Pickens, Alec Pierce, Mike Evans, Debo, Rashid. I mean, we got some fun players in here, boys and girls. But kicking off our wide receivers in the bruh tier, we got Brandon Ayuk. Now, do I think Brandon Ayuk is a good wide receiver? Yes, I do. But the guy hasn't played in like a year plus, okay? He basically, essentially, from what I understand, he quit on the Niners. Like, I don't even understand that whole situation. It makes me just even less confident in being a team that wants to sign Brandon Ayuk, because let alone the injury thing, I think he's finally fully healthy now, but like, do I even want to deal with that potential drama situation? Not really. So this is less of like a talent ranking and more of like a diva, potential drama, headache situation. Coming in next at the meh tier, we're gonna go Christian Kirk. Now, I would put Christian Kirk in the bruh tier, but he definitely showed some life still with the Texans this year. I mean, especially in the playoffs, bro. Christian Kirk, I mean, yeah, the Texans lost, but he was low-key like their #1 receiver, especially with no Nico Collins. So Christian Kirk is definitely still a very serviceable wide receiver. Another member of the meh tier, please welcome Deebo Samuel. Deebo was a weird case this year, because Deebo was actually pretty good this year, but not like insanely good to where you want to sign him on a big contract. So like, if I'm a team and I see Deebo Samuel, I'm like, okay, I could do worse, but I could do a lot better, and we'll get to those better wide receivers in a second. But, you know, Deebo is just very, you know, I think it's very meh. Following Deebo in the solid tier, we have Wan'Dale Robinson. Now, Wan'Dale Robinson actually had a pretty good year this year. Like, yeah, he wasn't, you know, making headlines and blowing off people's socks and stuff, but like, for his standards, and especially anyone on the Giants standards, definitely a good year for Wan'Dale. I think Wan'Dale Robinson is a very safe, a very solid addition to your team's offense. Next up, and this one could be controversial, but I got Jauan Jennings in the spicy category. Now, some people might say, oh, this is a little bit too bold. I think Jauan Jennings is more appropriate in the solid tier, and I could agree. Like, honestly, like, my honest take would be like right here in the middle. But Jauan Jennings, man, like, when you need him to make a catch, he's got you. He's super big, super physical. I mean, there's nothing that he really can't do, man. Like, remember that one Linsanity game against the Rams where he scored like 3 touchdowns? He was like legitimately prime Randy Moss. Like, this guy can really do everything. The physicality, he can go up and get the ball. I just think he's really good. He's just kind of like underrated. So yeah, I think any team that gets Jauan Jennings, that's a solid addition. Another spicy wide receiver is going to be Rashid Shaheed. Now, Rashid Shaheed, in my humble opinion, is one of the most underrated wide receivers, because he doesn't really get used a whole lot. You know, he's really used to like clear out, because he's like one of the fastest guys in the NFL. But like, bro, you get Rashid Shaheed the ball, he's gonna make magic of it every time, because whether it's catching the ball on offense, whether it's, you know, returning punts or kicks on special teams, the guy is deadly with the ball in his hands. Like, I think you instantly improve with Shaheed, because he's got insane speed as a receiver and a special teamers. You're getting a 2-for-1. And I love this pickup from any team that takes it. Speaking of spicy, we got Romeo Doubs joining the spicy boys next. Bro, Romeo Doubs is a dog, okay? He's not the fastest. He's not the biggest. But bro, he is Mr. Reliable, okay? He'll catch pretty much anything that's thrown his way for the most part. I mean, the Guardian cap it must give him like increased abilities because he's so reliable. I mean, he's not like really flashy, but he can make some tough catches. He's just like a really solid wide receiver. So any team that signs him, I think you're getting like a B+ receiver. That might be a little bold. That might be a little bit bold, but Romeo Doubs, super solid. Let's bring in the grandpa next for our spicy edition. We got Michael Evans. Mike Evans is going to be a really interesting free agent because he's like 50 years old, but he's still got it, dude. I mean, we saw it this past year after coming back from that brutal collarbone injury. Mike Evans comes back and we're like, okay, he's probably not going to really do much. He's like, well, like 76 years old coming back from the injury. Oh, he's the Bucs' #1 wide receiver and putting up 100 yards a game again. Like, to see that at this age after these injuries, I mean, like, yeah, you're taking a pretty big risk because at this age, especially, Mike Evans is pretty injury prone. Like that hammy is going to do you no favors, brother. Let me tell you that much. But I think Mike Evans is a really solid veteran wide receiver option. I don't hate any team that signs him. Mike Evans is as reliable as it gets. He's any quarterback's best friend. And I think if, you get him on your team, that's a good pickup. Now, this next guy is tough because he's right in the middle for me. He's spicy and goated, but I still think he's a little bit, we need to see a little bit more from him to put him in the goated. And that's why I'm going to put Alec Pierce in the spicy tier. Bro, Alec Pierce literally big broed everyone on the Colts wide receiving core this year. He big broed Josh Downs, Tyler Warren, Michael Pittman, everyone, dude. He's super reliable, but also like his bread and butter is like big explosive plays down the field that he just consistently makes somehow. He's very similar to Rashid Shaheed, where it's like you need a guy that's gonna run down the field, make some big plays, explosive plays on offense, get the team going. I mean, Alec Pierce, bro, was even more consistent than Shaheed and can really do it all in the field. He just routinely makes like the hardest and most impressive catches ever. So whatever team that picks him up, I think you're greatly improving your offense, and you're not only just getting like a really good receiver, but like you're making your offense way more explosive, way more threatening, down the field explosives, all of that good stuff. Alec Pierce, a great spicy pickup. And that leads us to our last and final and our only goated wide receiver free agent. We got Mr. George Pickens. Now, the sentence that I'm about to say pains me because while I don't truly believe it 100%, it definitely is somewhat true. But George Pickens somewhat snatched CeeDee Lamb's chain this year. Now, not entirely, not 100%. Everyone that's saying, oh, George Pickens big broed CeeDee Lamb this year, that's not true, bro. CeeDee Lamb was injured for like 4 or 5 weeks, and they're definitely used way differently. Like CeeDee was way more of a slot guy, George Pickens on the outside, but whatever, right? But still, regardless, you have to admit that George Pickens was somewhat of the alpha this year. I mean, whether you need a deep ball, you need like a 50-50 ball, George Pickens is your guy. And we saw that on full display, finally with a real quarterback this year on a real good offense. I mean, you saw the talent finally come to fruition. Whatever team, is going to get George Pickens, first off, they're going to pay a lot of money. But second of all, I think it's going to be worth it, especially if you have a good offense and a good quarterback. George Pickens will really do wonders for your team. And that is going to lead us to our last and final category, the free agent tight ends. Now, I'm going to go through these first couple of tight ends pretty quickly just because I don't really have a lot to say. They're not really needle movers like our first one in the broad tier, Adam Troutman. Now, Adam Troutman, he's solid, but like I said, he's really not going to move the needle. He's really not going to do anything exciting for your offense. And I would say the same for Daniel Bellinger. Just, not bad players for sure, but like in terms of free agents, you can do a lot better. And we'll get to those right now. Like Chig Okonkwo going in the med tier. And honestly, if you don't know who Chig is, shame on you because this guy is a low-key baller. Now, let's keep in mind, he's not like Trey McBride tight end kind of baller, but he's still a relatively good player. And honestly, for a free agent, you could do a lot worse. You also could do a lot worse than Darren Waller, who in my heart of hearts, I really want to put him in solid, but man, this guy cannot stay healthy, bro. I mean, now that I think about it, I would be surprised if he even plays next year. Like, I would expect him to retire because he could not stay healthy this year. He had like a couple really good games, like absolute end zone magnet, but then like he like tore his pec, and then he got hurt again later in the year. Like, just at this age and this year, his state of his career, just really can't stay healthy. So if I'm a team, I'm probably avoiding this red flag. Speaking of red flags, is that a Taylor Swift song? I don't know, but we got Travis Kelce coming in the solid tier. Now, even at age, what, like 33? How old is Travis Kelce? 36. Damn. Oh, he's 6'5"? Damn, bro, short. Travis Kelce is still a solid option, bro. In my humble opinion, he's still one of the best tight ends of all time. Yes, his yak abilities have dramatically, declined. He's really not going to be that #1 target like he was on the Chiefs for so long, but in terms of these free agents and what, how much worse you could do, Travis Kelce is definitely very middle of the pack with some upside still. So I don't hate the pickup. I also do not hate the pickup of Cade Otton, who honestly is a dog, but somehow doesn't always show those dog abilities. And I can't tell if it's like an individual thing or a team thing, but like sometimes when the Buccaneers are all in the hospital and Cade Otton is the only healthy receiver, he's like prime Gronk. But then like when everyone's healthy, he's really like a non-factor. It's very confusing. So I think if I'm a team and I'm picking up a tight end in free agency, Cade Otton is a great pickup. Just make sure there's not a whole lot of other competition. Now this next one is tough. It's Dallas Goedert, and I can't tell if I want to put him in the solid tier or the spicy tier. I kind of want to put him in the middle because I think he's a good receiver, but I can't tell if it's more of a system thing with the Eagles. I'm going to put him in solid just because I think he's a good player, but nothing like, oh my God, this is going to shake up our whole entire offense. But yeah, Dallas Goedert is super reliable, catch the ball great, low-key underrated yak abilities for sure. Yeah, he's not going to blow away your, he's not going to blow away your clothes, but still, for terms of a tight end pickup, I like it a lot. But I really like our spicy contestant, David Njoku, baby. Now, David Njoku definitely had a down year this year. He had a lot of injuries, and also he had to compete with one of the greatest tight ends of all time, Harold Fannin Jr. Hello, brother. But still, David Njoku, when healthy, is really good. Insane yak, bro. You need 3 guys and a half to take down this guy and try to tackle him, okay? Every single quarterback that was on the Browns would always hyper-target him, so he's reliable, good after the catch. As long as he's healthy, you want him on your team. Which leads us to our last final 2 tight ends, and this one could ruffle some feathers. This one might be a little controversial, but I'm gonna say it, bro. I'm gonna say it with my chest and my chest only. Bro, if Mark Andrews' parents never got it on and had him as a baby, Isaiah Likely would be in consideration for one of the best tight ends in the league. Now, is that bold? Yeah, probably, but like every time this dude gets enough opportunities to showcase his talent, the dude's a monster, bro. His yak is incredible, man. I mean, he's big, he breaks tackles, great hands. I mean, he's like literally everything you want. He just doesn't get a lot of playtime because of Mark Andrews and the way the Ravens run their offense. So if you take Isaiah Likely and put him on a team where he is like the team's #1 tight end and he's a primal focus of the offense, I like that team's odds, bro. Imagine Isaiah Likely like on the Chiefs. I am slightly aroused right now. And that leads us with our last and final tight end, Mr. 101 himself, Kyle Stinky Winky Pitts, baby. Kyle Pitts, the man, the myth, the legend himself. When he's a quarterback's favorite target, he's a literal wide receiver 1 with great hands, super physical, insane stature. It's impossible to take this guy down. You see it when he's fully healthy and when he's fully treated as a priority in the offense. This dude's a game changer. So will the Falcons pay up and keep him on their team, or will another team be like, actually, yeah, Kyle Pitts, come on down, brother. I got a big fat check for you, buddy. But whatever team he lands on next year, I'm gonna be watching because he is electric with his hands. Pause? He's electric with the ball in his hands, and I can't wait to see where he goes, and it's gonna be fun. But there you have it. There are the best and worst free agents ranked. This is gonna be a super fun offseason to monitor and watch where all of these great and not so great players go. I'm super excited to see what happens with George Pickens, Kenneth Walker, Breece Hall, to name a few. But it's going to be an amazing offseason. I can't wait. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Let me know down in the comments below, where do you want to see some of these top free agents go? I'm really curious on to see your comments. But yeah, if you liked the video, smash the like button. Please make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Would you like to say any closing remarks? The mic is hot. Would you like to say like and subscribe? Thank you for the kisses. Make sure to like and subscribe. Join our Discord down below. It's in the description. And yeah, appreciate you so much for watching. Thank you. You're yawning during the outro? Am I boring to you?